Cupola, turn your notifications on. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. We are going to talk about Arsenal, Bayern Munich, and a few of the other teams in the Champions League. Now, Arsenal absolutely bullied Bayern Munich in the second half. You know, I think one thing Arsenal have proven to everyone else is that they can actually go toe-to-toe with the European giants. Now, in that first half, I must say Bayern Munich were absolutely on top. The way the players were receiving the ball under pressure, the high press that Vincent Kompany had his players doing. I think Arsenal were sitting in. They were really not holding on defensively, but they were really not that potent in creating opportunities in the attack. Of course, we know Arsenal scored the first goal. It was a set piece. Again, I think Manuel Neuer could and should have done better. Coming out there wasn't physically imposing enough, which is crazy if you ask me, but that is a goalkeeping error. Timber scored, and Manuel Neuer is what, 6'3"? Should be taking out everything. But again, Arsenal from a set piece, very, very dangerous. And the aerial prowess is a sight to behold. But again, I think Joshua Kimmich proved why he's one of the best midfielders in the world. In that first half, he absolutely ran the show.
Do you feel that Arsenal is the toughest one that you get in the season so far?
No, I don't think so. I think PSG was the toughest one, especially the way they play football. Arsenal is completely different. They rely on set pieces. They love to play the long balls.
But there's one player that I must mention, and that's Lennart Karl. My goodness me, he cannot be 17. I refuse to believe that that boy is 17. He looked like a German Messi. The way he flies on that pitch. My goodness me, he's so sharp. His touches, his technique, his football IQ in the tightest of areas, his ability to bring others into play, one touch, two touch, dribbling ability, 1v1 ability. I don't even know what he can't do. I was watching him thinking, my goodness, and he has flair. Where did you find this guy from? Bayern Munich. Where did you find this kid from? And if you have to think about Jamal Musiala coming back and having to play with Karl, oh my goodness me. And it looks like he can play a number of positions. We saw what he did to Lewis Kelly. Oh my God. Oh, that little skill. Woo! Skelly, ooh. Skelly, ooh. He just did a little drop with the shoulder right on the outside. And again, I love that. When I see left-footed players able to go on the outside, I love that. I think that's spectacular. And I think his goal, again, brilliant movement. He made a lot of good runs. Brilliant movement in behind the defenders and the finish as well. He's so confident. Like, you don't really see players that are just like, give me the ball, I'm going to do it. Biggest stage, I don't care. Bossing Merino, Zubimendi, he didn't care. He didn't care. He said, give me the ball. I want the ball. Top. Anyway, let's talk about Olise. I think, again, Olise was brilliant. He caused a lot of problems to Lewis Kelly. But however, I think with Olise, it's more like, in these kind of games, I still need more from him. Just because of his talent. Yes, he can do one or two good things. He did one or two good things yesterday against Arsenal. You can see how easily he just drifts away from players. Right, left. He can take the ball on the sixpence, on a half turn. One touch, two touch, cross it in. He's got the quality, the technical elegance. But I felt like yesterday Bayern Munich needed a bit more from him, especially in the second half. And I don't think he really did it. And sometimes I think with his game, you have to stamp your authority on the game. Characteristically, is that Olise? I don't think so. However, to get to that world-class level, that's what he's going to need to do in these kind of games for people to really give him the recognition. Because remember, he doesn't have the PR. I think Upamecano, I think Tar, they were all right, but they weren't really playing up against anybody in the game. And then I think second half, Arsenal just kind of took over. I saw Arteta's tactics. He had Saliba chasing Harry Kane everywhere. He had Mosquera chasing Harry Kane everywhere. If Harry Kane went deep, their centre-backs went deep. And I think it's a tactic that he kind of took from Vincent Kompany, because Kompany did it against PSG. We had Upamecano chasing PSG's midfielders in their own half. And I think it actually worked for Arsenal. It really did. And it didn't allow Harry Kane to kind of get involved deeper and start dictating the play. And he wasn't in the game. I didn't see Harry Kane, especially second half. But second half, Declan Rice said, I'm the boss. Declan Rice came out and said, listen, this is all about me. And boy, was it about him. I mean, he absolutely took control of that game. I did not see any Bayern Munich player even come close to Declan Rice. I mean, I think for his price tag, is he worth it? I still don't think so. I do think he has improved a lot. He showed it against Real Madrid last season. He's done it against Bayern Munich this season. And these are the big dogs. These are players with the top midfielders. You're playing against Joshua Kimmich and you're giving that kind of performance. Credit to Declan Rice. I mean, he dragged Arsenal to that victory. We do know, of course, a second goal, an involvement from Declan Rice as well. Calafiori, what a cross, and Madueke. And it goes to show you that Arsenal have this squad of players that they could just call on from the bench and they will make the difference, even in these big games. Trossard had to go off, and you see Madueke and Martinelli come on, and both of them score. Another huge error for Manuel Neuer. Now, two big goalkeeping errors that cost Bayern Munich in this game. Do I think Arsenal was so much better than Bayern Munich? No, I think first half, it was Bayern's game. Second half, it was definitely Arsenal's game. But I must say, Arsenal really relinquished a lot of the pressure. They really stamped the authority on the game. However, they have to wait until the latter part of the Champions League, because right now, these things don't matter. And that's the thing with the Champions League. Early on, things don't matter. But well done to Arsenal anyway. I want to talk more about Liverpool, man. What is happening at Anfield? What is happening there? Like, are they going to sack? Are they going to sack Arne Slot or not? I don't know. But one thing is for sure, the players have given up on him. The players have given up on Arne Slot. Virgil van Dijk, what kind of defending is that? Like, what kind of player and captain is not even going to make the effort to track back, not going to make the effort to tackle? He's going to give up before they've even had the shot, before they've even had the cross. And then everybody wants to blame Konate. Now, Konate, again, another awful mistake. But I think Virgil van Dijk is running away from a lot of the responsibility. He spoke a lot on Wayne Rooney, but look at him now. He's struggling. Liverpool are struggling right now. But for me, it's just they've given up. They're not playing for Slot anymore. 3 goals at home against Nottingham Forest. 4 goals at home against PSV. What is happening to Liverpool? Honestly speaking, I'm trying to look at it holistically rather than just focus on the results. When I look at the lineup, there's no balance. When I look at the players that they bought, it doesn't make any sense. You bought Isak, Ekitike, you bought Wirtz. Those are the attackers. You took out Nunes, Luis Diaz, and then Harvey Elliott as well. Players that actually had an impact on Liverpool's title charges in recent years. Players that actually played the Liverpool way, the Klopp way. What is Arne Slot's way then? Because he won the league with Klopp's team. He didn't have to change much. So most of those players adapted to that style anyway. Klopp was there from 2015? And that's a long time to be at a club. He literally made Liverpool play a certain way. Heavy metal football. But what is Arne Slot's way? That is something that remains to be seen. I don't know what is happening in that team. They always end up with Gravenberch as a centre-back at the end of the game. Van Dijk is he's overrated in the sense where people are like, he's the greatest of all time. No, he's not the greatest defender of all time. He's been found out. He's been doing a lot of this stuff in recent years as well. Last season had a solid season, but also had a solid core, which is not something he has this season. And I don't know what's happening to Liverpool. Like, for me, I just think maybe you have to replace the manager, but the players have literally thrown him under the bus. They are not performing at all. You know, Isak, I mean, what his goal against Southampton, apart from that, I haven't heard from him. And this is the thing that I find unfair. Liverpool, they don't get enough criticism. What's that? 9 losses in 12? The worst form since 1953. This is shocking. This is shocking. People have to talk about it because I think it's terrible at the moment for Liverpool. I think there has to be a solution somewhere. There has to be someone who's going to take charge of that situation. I mean, these emergency meetings that Liverpool appear to be having doesn't really seem to be helping them at all. I don't see anything. I don't see any improvement at this moment in time. I just think when I'm looking at their team, who is going to solve the issues? Mo Salah, again, him, Van Dijk, new contracts. They've been worse than they have been last season. Are they Liverpool legends? Yes. But do they have to take accountability as well? Yes, because last season is last season. This season is this season. As a big club, your performance cannot afford to drop. Now, it looks like those players are literally done. Liverpool are trying to spiral into something new. However, they've managed to keep these 2 old heads in the team for experience. Yeah, it might help, but it definitely doesn't help them moving forward. It hasn't helped Arne Slot right now. And I think, like I said, I would not be starting certain players. I would be starting Chiesa. I wouldn't be starting Mo Salah. I'd be starting Ekitike every game. I would not drop Ekitike. Gakpo plays, but he's not efficient enough. Szoboszlai, one of their best players this season, and that's not something you want to really be saying when you've spent over 500 million on attackers. It doesn't make sense. Now they wanted to sign a defender, Marquez. Maybe now you can see why. However, would he be the sole solution? I don't know. New signings, Kirkes, not been good enough. Vert, he's been crap. Frimpong, obviously, is injured. Hasn't really had enough of an impact on this team. There's so many issues right now. Konate has to fix up as well, because if you think he's going to go to Real Madrid playing like how he's playing right now, that's not going to happen. But again, like I said, 4-1 to PSG, it is just crazy to me. Like, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, but I do know that Liverpool are in big trouble if they carry on with this manager, because it seems as if the players have given up. Anyway, that's it for today. Make sure you subscribe, follow me on all socials, and turn your notifications on. Cupola. I'll see you soon.